Hi, this is Sarah Hanford with Be Social Solutions, and today is our Monday Money Date. This is where I do my bookkeeping and you do your bookkeeping. We just body double for 30 minutes to get our bookkeeping done. I don't show you mine, you don't have to show me yours. In fact, I don't even know who is on here unless you decide to subscribe and leave a comment. But today is, let's see, May 11th. If you're watching this on the replay, the day after Mother's Day. And let's get into our bookkeeping. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to open up QuickBooks. So I can go in and I can do mine. It does not matter what system you use, if you use an Excel spreadsheet or if you use like an actual like QuickBooks or Xero or Wave, does not matter. You're just going in and you are taking care of your bookkeeping. So today I'm waiting for QuickBooks. Let's see if it's going to be one of those days or not. So I don't have many transactions to categorize. I only have 5 transactions to categorize today. Yeah. Which is awesome. This is the good part about staying on top of your books, that when you go in to do it, it doesn't take long. So I lied. I have 6 transactions. I have 1 transaction in one checking account, 2 transactions in my other checking account, 1 transaction in another, and then I have a couple transactions on my credit card. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure those are assigned to the correct accounts, and then I'll review my P&L, my balance sheet, and my cash flow. So I always review each of those statements every week to make sure everything is correctly assigned, everything is on track. I don't have anything outstanding with my receivables or anything like that. And then I also check on my cash flow statement so that way I can make sure everything is trending in the right direction. So I'm going to be quiet right now and I'm going to go ahead and start categorizing and then reviewing. What was her name? So I have a networking expense from a networking event that I went to last week, and I need to figure out, I need to just make a note in this account. Here we go. On River Walk. Okay. Post. So that is that. Last week I did a lot of networking, so I have a couple of transactions that I need to make sure I put memos in on. If you're new here, my name is Sarah Hanford, and I'm the head bookkeeper here at Be Social Solutions. And this is our time to work on our bookkeeping together. I do my bookkeeping. I don't show you my screen just because there's no need. Everything is just done automatically within QuickBooks. Yesterday was Mother's Day, and we went out to the Frio River, and I am feeling the allergies. So it's your chance to log in, whether you use a spreadsheet, whether you use QuickBooks Wave, Zero, whatever you use. Go log in and categorize your expenses. This is your opportunity to do it with someone. I do it regardless if I'm on live or not. I do it every Monday at 11. That is the time that I have set aside. All right. All of those are categorized. And that is categorized. So why I go in and do why do I go in and review my P&L, my balance sheet, and my statement of cash flows every week? That is because I don't want surprises at the end of the year, let alone I don't want surprises when I'm making financial decisions for my business. And those financial decisions can be as easy as, do I attend these networking events, or do I invest in a software that will make my life a little bit easier? Do I do both? I also track the efficacy of the networking events that I go to. I rate the type of connections that I make. I rate the quality of the networking group, the ease and the cost of going to and from, all of that. I keep track of all of that. So that way, when I am making decisions on where I invest my time in, I can act accordingly and make decisions that are just informed. If you are new and you're just joining us, go ahead and hit subscribe and leave a message in the chat as to where you are and if what accounting system you are utilizing. I utilize QuickBooks for myself and most of my clients. I do have experience in Wave and Zero. I was a corporate accountant for 18 years, and I've been in the accounting industry in some form or another for 26 years now. But what I am doing is I am just going in and looking at my reports now. Let's see. So what I'm doing is I'm just reviewing my P&L to make sure everything looks good. So I look at it two ways. I look at it from year to date, but then I also look at it for the month. Okay. Okay. So for me, I am all done, and we are 12 minutes into this Monday money date session. So what I'm going to do is I typically don't do this, but since it was so short, I looked at my statement of cash flows, but I'm going to look at my cash flow projections because I know in November I'm going to have some pretty large expenses. I pay for some of my memberships and subscriptions yearly in December. So I'm going to make sure that my cash flow is going to be able to cover not only those expenses, but I also want to make sure I max out my retirement contributions this year. So I need to make sure everything's going to be okay for that. So I'm going to look at my cash flow projection spreadsheet that I have and make sure that everything is on track for doing that. If you're new here, go ahead and hit subscribe so you can leave a comment and let me know what accounting uh, program, words are hard, what accounting program you use for your business. I personally use QuickBooks, but I have experience in Wave and Xero, and also just good old-fashioned spreadsheets. I was a corporate accountant for 18 years, but I've been in the accounting industry in some form or another for 26 years. And this is just our time to work together to make sure our bookkeeping is done and make our finances a priority. So I'm going to open up an Excel file that I keep. I know I could do this in QuickBooks, but for some reason I prefer this in Excel. It's just how I've been trained and how I've always done it. And even though QuickBooks makes it all look nice and fancy, I like to have some mental buy-in into doing this one task. So I'm going to go ahead and just make a quick note and then open up the file. Okay. So what I do is I just have this file that I just look at the anticipated numbers when they're supposed to come in versus when my expenses are supposed to hit. So that's how I look at my cash flow. Okay. That's right. Okay, so I have that large coming in. So I was just looking at my subscription tracking spreadsheet, and I remembered that I need to switch up my registered agent. I am using LegalZoom, but I will not be using LegalZoom anymore because they want to charge. Last year, they charged me like $500, and I don't want to spend $500. So I will be terminating LegalZoom and finding something else. Because that is crazy. And then Bluehost. I don't even use Bluehost. I haven't used Bluehost since 2023. And I thought those charges were Squarespace. For some reason, they were filed under Squarespace. They just all of a sudden started again in 2026 on an expired card. That's interesting. Gotta love those little nuggets that you find when you pay attention to your finances. So to catch you up, what I just found is Bluehost has been charging me. They started charging me in March. And I don't know how, because I canceled that in 2023 and I don't have any charges from them in 24 or 25 or in January or February of 2026, but they just started charging me again on an expired card. My expired Bank of America card. So that's interesting. Look at what you find when you pay attention to your finances. So I need to go in and I just need to cancel Bluehost altogether. I don't know how they're charging an expired card. That's really weird. So I have, in these 21 minutes that we've been together, I categorized all of my transactions. I reviewed my P&L, my balance sheet, and my cash flows. And then I've looked through and updated my cash flow projection spreadsheet. And within that cash flow projection spreadsheet, it goes year over year over year over year. And I've been doing this spreadsheet since 2016. When I first started my business is when I started, there we go, now it's straight, is when I started Be Social Solutions in November of 2016, and that's when I started my cash flow projection spreadsheet. And I was able to catch that Bluehost started charging me again, and that the cost of LegalZoom has gone up significantly, and I need to cancel them because I don't want to pay $400 for a registered agent. But I do need a registered agent because my company is registered in Maryland and we are no longer anywhere close to Maryland. Okay. So it looks like I will have more than enough to meet my goals with maxing out my retirement contributions, with some of these big expenses coming up in November. And then I have plenty of time. My registered agent legal Zoom bill is due in August. And so I have plenty of time because today is May 11th. I have plenty of time to find a new registered agent. If you joined me live, let me know in the comments. Hit subscribe and write live in the comments and what accounting system you use. If you joined on the replay, hi, hello. I'm glad you are here. Let me know that you joined on the replay by typing in replay. I'm going old school. Type in replay into the comments and let me know what any expenses you found that you had forgotten about or just randomly showed up again, like my freaking Bluehost. I don't know what's going on with them, but I will find out. Anywho, I greatly appreciate everyone for showing up. I have a couple of, let me go back to my notes. I have a couple of cool new videos coming out on my regular YouTube channel, not a live or anything, but it's going to be going over cash flow versus profit. And you have profit but no cash in the bank, why your P&L does not tell the whole story, and how traditional bookkeeping reports on the past. Proactive bookkeeping helps you reach your goals, which is what I just did today. And then bookkeeping systems, and even how the smallest of companies need a bookkeeping service. And it goes over my tiny bookkeeping service for small companies, small businesses. And then I have a couple more, but I haven't really researched them all too much, whether in trends and keywords and all of that. So I don't really have the full concept. It's just more in my brain dump. So I'll save those for the next live. But what I will share again here in the comments is my blog, where I have a ton of resources on my blog where you can go, and it's all quick and simple reads. I do not like to be too ridiculous with how long my blog posts are. And then I am going to also leave you with a video for 2 videos. Bookkeeping for LLCs, how to stop losing money. Whoops. I'm going to share this, copy this. This one has been wildly popular, and wildly popular meaning it has, let's see, how many views? I have 6 subscribers and it has 8 views. But I'm taking that as a win. This is such a new channel. I only have 7 videos on here. And then I am ADHD, and I want to share my top ADHD hacks because I know most entrepreneurs are business owners. I know most business owners are ADHD. My own ADHD taking over. ADHD bookkeeping hacks. So I created a video. I did a video last week on my top tips and tricks for ADHD business owners and how I use it to help me with my bookkeeping. This Monday Money Date being one of those. I was already doing my own bookkeeping every Monday at 11 while following another body doubling person creator on YouTube. So I figured, why not just do it on my own channel? Instead of having the distractions of her, I'm going to just do it for myself. And I also went ahead and I was recording myself long before I started to do it live on YouTube, and it just helped me immensely. So I'm coming live every Monday at 11 Central Time where I do my own bookkeeping, and you can follow along. So that is the anticipated content upload schedule for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. And every Monday, you can come back and join me live at 11 Central Time for my Monday Money Date Lives, where I do my bookkeeping and you do yours. Now, I will add one more thing. Um, it is my bookkeeping SOS calls, and this is where for $75, you can book a 30-minute SOS call. If you are stuck or if you need help, need to pick my brain on something, that is where you can purchase this um, bookkeeping SOS call. That form, the Google form, last link is where you can book your SOS call with me, and we'll go over whatever roadblocks you are having, and we have 30 minutes together. Alrighty, friends. Until next Monday, let's go ahead and make good financial sound decisions. I will probably have my next video out on either Thursday or Friday. I'm really trying to get into a good upload sequence, especially before school lets out, so I can have everything scheduled and go live and still have some resemblance of consistency once all of my kids are home. So, from one working mom to hopefully others and working dads, I hope you have a great week. Again, if you need any resources, check the comments. If you need a bookkeeping SOS call, check the comments. It's the Google form, and I will see you next Monday. Bye, friends.